What's going on, everybody? Sam Heine here with Family Realty. I'm standing here in the upstairs of the office. I'm drinking a brewski right now. It's a Friday night. You're probably going to see this on Saturday, but tonight I'm drinking a New Belgium Starship IPA, and I think the branding kind of tells all why I got it. This guy looks like he's having a great Friday night, and I hope you all had a great Friday night, I guess, when you're going to be watching this. But the main reason that I wanted to come on the camera, other than drinking this beer while I'm shooting this video, is to talk about the COVID-19 crisis and what it's doing to the Louisville real estate market. And these are probably the biggest questions that I've gotten in the last 3 to 4 weeks is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? What does this do to my real estate plans in 2020? So I kind of broke it out to two different sections, selling and buying. Are houses still selling in 24 hours? Is now still a good time to buy and invest in real estate? The answer is yes to both. And the virus is sweeping the world, and it's wreaking havoc, and it's traumatic for everybody. And primarily, I hope everybody's staying safe and healthy, but the real estate market is really creating a unique opportunity where there is opportunity on the buying side and the selling side. There's this interesting dichotomy going on, whereas usually there's either a buyer's market where the buyers call the shots, where there's less buyers and more sellers, and then there's the seller's markets where there is less sellers and more buyers, so the sellers call the shots. Buyers and sellers are winning right now, and there's opportunity on both sides, and so I've come up with some strategies and neighborhoods specifically to target on the buying and selling side if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest this year, to keep in mind. So buckle up your seatbelts. There's some really good info in here, and let's start with the selling side. Is now still a good time to sell your house? Maybe you had a plan to put your house on the market in the spring of 2020, and then COVID-19 totally swept the rug out from under your feet, and now you're sitting there wondering, what am I supposed to do? I had these plans to move to my dream neighborhood, whatever the case may be. Fear not, because actually there's a good chunk of neighborhoods that are thriving. I actually crunched some numbers, and across the Highlands, St. Matthews, Crescent Hill, Clifton, farther out east, close to Anchorage, Indian Hills, Butchertown, Smoketown, Germantown, Shelby Park, that cluster of Louisville right there, that main cluster of Louisville, things are actually selling 10% higher than they were before COVID-19 hit the streets. So it's really an interesting thing to see there. You think to yourself, this is just going to completely halt the real estate market. It's actually gotten sellers exactly what they want, 10% higher than what they want in those neighborhoods. So the hot zones in Louisville, the demand is so high that it really hasn't affected anything. Sellers are winning in those neighborhoods. Another reason for that is sheer demand. So people are looking for the perfect house in those neighborhoods that I just mentioned. And as the coronavirus kicks up, less people are selling, less people are buying, but less people are selling in compared to just a few months ago, whenever coronavirus was not in the mix of conversation. And so now, even more than ever, buyers are coming out of the woodwork whenever things are going on the market in the Highlands and St. Matthews and Smoketown, Shelby Park, Germantown, Indian Hills, and they're snapping these houses up because they're not sure when the right house is going to come up again. That has a big thing to do with these buyers jumping on those houses to the tune of 10% higher than what sellers could have gotten 2 to 3 months ago, because of that uncertainty about, am I going to find anything in the next 6 months to a year? Reach out to me if you have questions on that. If you're thinking about selling in those types of zones, you're not exactly sure if your house fits into that mold, be happy to explain that a little bit deeper. On a little bit of the outskirts of those neighborhoods, so the outskirts of those hot zones, those hotbeds that I kind of went over, you're seeing a little bit of a dip. Houses are sitting a little bit longer than they would have maybe 2 to 3 months ago, but at the same time, things are still selling, things are still moving, but that's where the buyer's markets start to creep in. So on the outskirts of these hot zones, you're starting to see the opportunity turn towards the buyers. So is now still a good time to invest in real estate and buy real estate? Yes, it is. And I know I just said that those core hot zones of Louisville are a seller's market, and they are, and that just is part of owning a house in the Highlands and St. Matthews, Germantown, Shelby Park, Smoketown, Indian Hills, those areas are hotbeds. Those are ideal areas where people want to live and graduate to, raise their kids. And that's one of the perks of living in those neighborhoods, is that you hold the cards even in uncertain times like COVID-19. But if you're willing to open up the scope of where exactly you would consider, and if you would live right on the outskirts around those neighborhoods, which are still great neighborhoods, by the way, great trees, great wildlife, great quality of life, great housing, structures, great updates, cheaper prices. Times like these, the demand for those areas, maybe a lot of other people start considering those areas because the demand is so high in a healthy market for the neighborhoods that I just mentioned. But in a down market, like with COVID-19, the demand for those areas surrounding cools off a little bit, which paints a very great opportunity for anybody that's looking to buy during these times in those zones. Updated houses with really great bones to them, and really great trees and gardens around them, really great neighborhoods that just don't have quite the demand as St. Matthews or the Highlands do. So I'm working with a couple buyers right now that are just on the outskirts of Germantown, and we were able to go in right now because of the COVID-19 stuff. We were able to whittle the price down and whittle them down on repairs by $15,000 on one house and $10,000 on the other house. So we're going in and we're saving legitimate money. That's going to be equity in your pocket in the future. That's going to be more money in your pocket when you go to sell. And so there's a real opportunity there. And the same thing on the investment side. You can get investment properties. A lot of people are taking their money out of investments in real estate right now and putting it into safer investments. So for the people that take the gamble and put their money into real estate investment right now, there's a big opportunity to cash out more over time, make the big equity gains over time. And so there's upside on the buying and investing side as well. Hey, listen guys, I know I just threw a lot at you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you were thinking about selling, buying, or investing this year, but you're hesitating because of coronavirus and you want to talk over your options, what exactly you could expect out of your house or investment now versus what you could have gotten a year ago or 3 months ago, I'd be happy to help you paint that picture and to illustrate exactly how long it might take you to sell your house. On the buying side, I'd be happy to point out the places that might provide more opportunity than other places right now, and how to make a little bit more money over time in the process. So hope everybody's having a good one. Hope everybody enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you all very soon.